Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And the alleged rapist of the 13-year-old girl in court this afternoon. And some wonderful news from the New York City Police Department. The NYPD hunting for that anti-Israel protester who, quote, told the folks on the train, Zionists, to ID themselves. This is your chance to get out. So, the New York Police Department releasing a poster today asking folks for help in identifying the man so police can arrest him. So, in other words, to that vile, disgusting person that asked that on the subway, that engaged in that anti-Semitism, the same fate is headed for you in terms of they now have your picture up, tick-tock, tick-tock, just like the Queen's rapist. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Dominic Carter here with you, and we have a lot to get to this hour in terms of, let's start with the alleged rapist of the 13-year-old girl in court this afternoon.
We are awaiting the first court appearance of the man accused of raping a 13-year-old girl in Queens and forcing a 13-year-old boy to watch. 25-year-old Christian Giovanni Ingolandi is expected to be officially charged in court in Queens this afternoon.
And that is a report from WABC television in New York. I'm starting this hour with a tweet I received from my midnight show. And I've been thinking about this all night long as it relates to the 13-year-old girl. Let's go ahead and open up the phone lines. 800-848-9222. The tweet is from a lovely woman who on Twitter, and by the way, folks, around the country, you can follow me on Twitter from around the country, Dominic TV, Twitter X at Dominic TV. And the tweet is from DMS. That's how she identifies herself. And I've been thinking about her comment all night long. I want you to think about this, folks. And I'm quoting from her tweet. Knowing your daughter's first sexual experience is with a monster who threatened her with a machete, being women and knowing how tender that, and she capitalizes this, should be, he threatened her, raped her, and stole from her an innocence that was hers to give, not that monster to steal. A tweet from DMS. And she's so right. She's so correct on how she's assessing this matter. But girl power, woman power. One of the Good Samaritans that took this alleged rapist down, a heroic woman, and she is recounting. By now you've heard her voice. I am telling you, if the election were mayor were held in the next 2 days, she could probably win. And she's recounting how she handled the situation, stating that as a woman, I had to really set the tone. 23-year-old Angela Ceretti, 23 years old Angela Ceretti, immediately recognized the man police named as the prime suspect in the broad daylight attack inside the park. We all know what happened. And so she pointed him out, recognized him, and by now, the world knows what she did next. Here is a bit of that, and the voice that you hear is the voice of 23-year-old Angela Ceretti.
Curo live. ¿Dónde tú te vas? ¿Dónde tú te vas? ¿A dónde tú te vas?
Aquí voy a esperar.
Oh, okay. 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 ¿A dónde tú te vas? He a rapist. He don't like. He don't care. He don't care that he hit the 13. He right there. He right there. He hiding because we beat the out of him. Yeah.
Rapist has
Citizen half, baby. Thank you. Y'all, we beat y'all job for you. He's right there. Look at him right there. We beat his ass.
Where my 10,000? Where my 10,000?
We beat his ass. Beat his ass. Beat his ass.
Boy, she wanted to make sure the emphasis got across there, and that is exactly what she did. 800-848-9222. The New York City Police Department hunting for that protester, that anti-Israel protester who on the subway told Zionists to ID themselves. This is your chance to get out. They have released a poster asking New Yorkers for their help. Now, keep in mind, that incident unfolded the same night a mob of anti-Israel protesters swarmed, and this is absolutely disgusting, the downtown Manhattan exhibit, a memorial for the victims of the Nova Music Festival. The people there were slaughtered and kidnapped on October 7th. I've said before, I'll say it again. This migrant thing is not working. I know it's not politically correct to say it, but I'm not politically correct. I'm going to say it. I mean it. It is what it is. It's not working. What is this thing with some migrants beating up police officers? I do believe in your own countries, you do that in your country, they will never find you again. Ever, ever, ever. But now you're here in New York and cities like Chicago and across the country, and you are pimping, yes, pimping the American people. Free, free, free. Everything is free. And some of them, not all, some of them, don't watch their children. Why are you saying that, Dominic? Because that's what sparked this latest incident. Long Island City, Queens. Several people are accused of punching and throwing bikes at NYPD officers who found a group of unattended kids outside the Queens Hotel being used as a shelter. Translation, what you pay for, what I pay for, what they do not pay for. They don't pay for anything. So the police found 3 unattended kids riding bikes outside the hotel at 3870 12th Street, Long Island City. Guess what time, folks? 4 a.m. Monday, and asked them what they were doing out so late. The officers then checked to see if the children were being supervised before they were allegedly assaulted by the 5 adults, according to prosecutors. So the police obviously told them that the kids should not be out that late by themselves. Before the conversation escalated, 3 men, 2 women who appeared to be intoxicated began pushing and shoving the police officers. 1 person and an unapprehended woman allegedly picked up a bike and threw it at an officer. And then the man ran from the scene while handcuffed before he was apprehended. Folks, this migrant experiment, it's not working. How many times do we have to touch the stove to realize that it's hot, that we're going to burn ourselves? How many millions and billions of taxpayer dollars need to be spent before we realize that this is not working? Let's begin in New Jersey with Bean. Bean, what's on your mind?
Dominic, thanks for taking the call. I'm very frustrated here. How do we get the word out that all this is going on? All the national TVs, nobody was showing what happened in New York with the rape. The only one that was showing it was Fox. The only people that listen to your station are us conservatives. How do we get the word out to the Democrats to stop this guy if nobody's listening. No, if nobody can see it, nobody's going to know what Biden's doing. He's doing all illegal stuff. Everything he's doing with the border is illegal, and he keeps doing it. You can't put nothing past the Senate because they have a majority. So how do we get the word out to people, the Democrats? That's the people we got to get to.
Well, Bean, I hear you, and I understand your frustration. I feel your pain, but I do disagree. I think with this radio station that we're reaching wide audiences, perhaps audiences that were not reached in the past. And I do. Now, why do I say that? So there's going to be a rally coming up, Trump making inroads in the black community. Well, guess what? He's just getting started. In Queens, Jamaica, Queens, there's a rally coming up. I believe it's June 22nd, where there are 10 African-American speakers on Trump's behalf. So things are not moving as fast as we would like to see them move. But I do believe, I hear your pessimism, but I do believe that things are moving in the right direction. Thank you for the call, being in New Jersey. Mike in South Carolina, what's on your mind?
How you doing, Dominic? Well, that last caller was right on. I was just watching. I just got back to my place. The only station I watch is Fox. And as of October, there are 30,000 Chinese illegals. And what happened in Queens, right near where Donald Trump grew up, outrageous monsters, devils. And the story you just said about 4 a.m. where kids, punks, aliens are throwing bikes, attacking cops, NYPD. It's getting to the point that it is just, when will it come to an end? When Biden and his crew are out of office. And I'll tell you, Dominic, I'm listening to WABC radio 30 years, and it's excellent. People are just climbing on board, and you are doing all the good work that you've always done. So, and salutations the other night on the radio with your birthday. I hope you had a good one.
Thank
and I
you.
even told Curtis Sliwa, Dominic, the reason why you suspended one guy for 30 days.
And he's listening to you right now. When I come back from the break, we're going to go to Russ in White Plains. But go ahead.
Oh, that punk, that mama's boy? How you doing, mama's boy? I should have bitch slap you, and I'll do it. You don't like Italians? You're a fake, phony fraud. You probably played knock hockey.
Okay.
Right?
Wait. Let's let Russ defend himself. Let's bring him in on the conversation. So,
Right.
Russ, I promise, Russ, I'm going to let you respond to this, and I know you didn't call on this topic, so I'm going to let you respond. I'm going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll deal with the issue that you want to talk about. But you're listening to Mike live right now. What is your reaction?
My reaction is I should be like Larry and let Michael talk, because Michael made a fool of himself. And to let this Michael in South Carolina talk and make more of a fool of himself, that's my best strategy. Go ahead, Michael of South Carolina, you panty waste. Go ahead.
No, you're the panty. Listen to you, dude. Listen to you. You said things that you should have been taken off the radio, and I told Curtis about exactly what you said. You're a fake, phony, and a fraud. Move to Israel. Why don't you move to Israel as quickly as you can?
Hey, Mike. Mike.
Oh, you talk over people. You like to talk over people.
Mike.
You bagel bender. Put beaches on your bagel. Okay, what?
Joe.
What?
Hey, Mike.
You're a piece of crap.
Mike.
You're a POS.
Mike.
Piece of you know what? What?
Mike.
What?
Mike.
What?
Okay. Okay, guys. Mike, thank you for the call. Russ, stay with me. I've got to take a break. It's a couple of minute break. When we come back, it says here you want to talk about migrants. It says here on my screen that you believe the migrant experiment is working. I don't know how you can see it that way, but Russ from White Plains, New York, when we come back.
This is Dominic Carter.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. Get ready to zoom into some serious cash with Zoom Ball every Wednesday in June. Win up to $500,000. 1 point equals 1 entry. 2 lucky winners will be drawn at the top of every hour from 1 to 5 p.m. to play Zoom Ball. Discover the excitement at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 877-8-HOPE or text NY.
Hey, it's Joe Piscopo. When you're looking for concrete materials for your next construction project, call Diamondback Ready Mix on Staten Island. This family-owned and operated business is the go-to supplier for concrete materials in New York, New Jersey, and the surrounding tri-state areas. My friends and experts from Diamondback Ready Mix are experts and fully licensed and insured in New York and in New Jersey to deliver ready-mix concrete to your job site. Give them a call today for more information at 718-650-5649, 718-650-5649.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And the alleged rapist of the 13-year-old girl, the migrant, set to appear in court today. We're going back to the telephones. I was just chatting with Russ, White Plains, New York. So we're discussing the migrant issue, Russ, and we've had 2 additional police officers attacked because they were doing their job, because kids are out, little kids at 4 a.m. in the morning, and the migrants didn't like that they were being checked. But yet you're telling me that the migrant experiment is working? Please tell me that's not your position.
Dominic, that is called collateral damage. We're all going to have to endure collateral damage. And not everyone that listens to you is a conservative, okay? I'm a Marxist for Trump. So I think Trump represents change, and we need it. But the migrant experiment is an experiment in demographics. They're trying to reverse the trends in this country of aging, and these migrants are creating markets. They're lowering the wages. They're paying into taxes. And
they're paying into taxes?
Yeah,
Where?
When they go to the store, they're paying a sales tax. Listen,
come on. What, Russ? What about the free apartment? If you want to have 3 kids, fine. 6, fine. 9, whatever. We'll pay for it. Medicaid, get it all. Get the apartment. Get the food. Beat up the cops. Come on, Russ. And this is winning in your book.
No, I think it's wrong to do this, but this is called upfront costs. These people are going to pay off by having children. We don't replace the people in this country.
And who's going to pay for those children?
Who's going to pay for the children?
Yes.
The government that reaps the rewards from exploiting all of us. That's who's going to pay. But Dominic, I thank you. I hope you're enjoying your lawnmower that you got for Father's Day. I saw that on Instagram.
Oh, well, well, thank you, Russ. I didn't get it for Father's Day, or maybe I did. I don't know, Russ. These days, the days all seem to blend together, and I appreciate your call, man. I really do. But, my brother, you are lost on this migrant issue. I mean, they're just beating up cops. They're doing whatever they want. They're bringing – how do you come to another woman's country? Thank you for the call, Russ. How do you come to another person's country – and you're not paying for anything? You're not paying a dime. And you're violating the laws. You're committing crime. You're raping little girls. Not all migrants are doing this, of course. A small percentage. But it's enough. It's enough where it makes you not want to have anything to do with this experiment. Then, when you add the fact that this is a horrible situation where Americans are paying top dollars while we're starving, it just doesn't work. I'll be right back.
Now, from New York City to the world, it's Dominic Carter.
And Curtis Sliwa is standing by. Curtis Sliwa will join me at about 50 minutes past the hour. In other words, about 17 minutes from now. Here's how I know Trump is headed back to the White House. One small example. I could give you a list of about 30 things just with the snap of a finger. But let's focus for right now. So there's a woman who's a major fundraiser out of San Francisco. Her name is Allison Wynn. And Miss Wynn was a former Obama fundraiser. Raised a lot of money for Obama. So much so that he gave her one of those original Hope portraits of himself. She has items from President Kennedy. Well, guess who she's supporting now? Just take a guess. Take a guess, folks. Listen to this anchor setup from the Fox News channel.
One former Democratic fundraiser who helped raise millions of dollars for former President Obama's 2008 presidential campaign is not only supporting former President Trump, she's selling her collection of Democratic collectibles. Okay, so Allison, this collection is worth millions of dollars. I think you have like JFK's rocking chair in there and the original Obama Hope sign and all these things. You're selling that and flipping from the left to Trump. What's causing you to do that?
Now, before she answers the question, think about it for a second. Major fundraiser out of California. She's done with Democrats. She says the party's gone too far left. As I've said to you folks, I didn't leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me a long time ago with all of these nuts on the far left. Now, let's have Miss Wynn answer the question of why she's no longer supporting Democrats and why she's supporting former President Donald Trump.
One of the signs of leadership is to be positive and to be very specific with your policies. And I see Trump having very, very specific policies around immigration, around AI, blockchain, as well as creating jobs. So you can look at the 2016 Jobs Act, which was a bipartisan effort. And he did a really great job creating more jobs, also investments in Black, brown communities, as well as kind of like hillbilly areas where J.D. Vance and I grew up. I didn't grow up in the same place he did, but a similar place, like New Braunfels, Texas, which is 5,000 people right outside of Austin.
Outside of Austin, Texas. And that's from the Fox News channel. But again, remember, this was a major Democratic fundraiser who now has washed her hands of Democrats, and she is supporting Trump.
Our policies are super liberal leftist policies with San Francisco. It's a science experiment gone awry. And it's the same thing with big tech. There's the big tech and big corporate takeover of the Democratic Party, and our daily lives, the daily lives of parents, I guess soccer moms like me, was really bad during COVID. I homeschooled 3 kids. Grocery stores were closed. Retail malls were closing all over the San Francisco Bay Area, right? And like I have 2 teenage girls that can't even go to Macy's. Like it's closed now. Just going to like finding a Whole Foods or Safeway. I mean, I couldn't even go grocery shopping.
Oh, well, she supported the Democrats, raised a lot of money for Obama. Now she's on Team Trump. Very, very interesting. Her name, Allison Wynn. Let's go back to the telephone calls from around the country. Let's go to Audrey, New Jersey. Audrey, what's on your mind?
Oh, thank you. God bless you. You're so wonderful. I love your show. You're the number one. I want to tell you, he doesn't need this debate. He could win. He could walk right in. He's the only president that wouldn't even have to campaign. To me, he's still president. I'm telling you, he's great because the debate isn't going to do him any good. I don't think it's going to be too safe for him. And Mark Levine's worried about him, too. Mark Levine's afraid that they want to kill him and his family. But Trump is a great guy. He could walk right in. The country wants him now. Everybody, everywhere. The Spanish Harlem, everything. The Black Harlem, everything. Everybody wants him. I'm for Trump 100 zillion%. I appreciate it. And I wanted to tell you. And if what he calls going to be there, would you give him this number for to get out the cat with a kidney problem? A carnivora. Reagan had it sent to the White House. Give the cat. They're giving animals carnivora. It's on coast to coast. It's advertised. A guy had treatment was going to be chemo, and he gave him carnivora, and the dog was better.
Okay, so I hear you. I don't know about that. I have to look into that part. But Audrey, thank you so much for the call, New Jersey. Let's go to Marco in Brooklyn, New York. Marco, what's on your mind?
Dominic, thank you for taking my call. I just want to say that yes, get Biden out of office, vote him out of office. I understand that. But just voting him out of office is not enough. Every Democrat that's holding office, they all need to be voted out. The general elections is important, but also the local elections.
But you know that's impossible. You know that's like $1 in a dream.
Well, it's still good to dream, isn't it?
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. That's a good comeback, Marco.
But the truth is, what the Democrat Party has done to this country is flat out treason. Let's just say it. It is treason what they have done, from the president all the way down to Pete Buttigieg or Booty Itch or whatever he calls himself. Okay, they need to be voted out. For every Democrat, from the president all the way down to the school board president, every one of them, they need to be voted out. Gone.
I hear you. We have an election coming up very soon, Marco. In many respects, I agree with you. In many respects, when you look at the Democratic policies, and let me be clear, Marco, if Republicans are in power and they screw up, I will call them out and say we need to switch to Democrats. But right now, hook, line, and sinker, they need to go. This we're
Yes.
friends of the criminals. We're friends of the migrants. And, America can't save the world. We have Americans that are starving. We have veterans that are starving. We have our own homeless people, our own mentally ill. And these migrants keep attacking police officers. I always thought, Marco, can you explain that to me before I let you go? I thought in some of their own countries, you touch a police officer, they never find you again.
I'll tell you this. My parents are from Brazil, okay? And I'll tell you this. The Brazilian cops, they have zero tolerance for the criminals over there. Now, you asked a question earlier, how is it that people from other countries that come here and they violate our laws, they rape little girls, they commit crimes? I'll tell you how they do it. They do it because of Democrats. The Democrats have allowed them to come here. The Democrats have allowed them to break our laws. The Democrats have allowed them to rape little girls and murder mothers of five children, like the one victim in Baltimore. That's how these people come here, because Democrats have allowed them to come here and run amok in our country. And I have family members that are going to vote left. I have so-called friends that are voting left. And I asked them, how do you not see what is happening? How do you not see the rampant crime that is happening in our streets? How do you not see this? They have drunk the Kool-Aid. It's Jim Jones all over again, but it's in a political realm. People have drank the Kool-Aid.
Jim Jones all over again. I would say I like the comparison, but considering that so many people lost their lives with Jim Jones, I won't say that. But I feel your pain as well, Marco, and I understand your frustration, because I think we all, thank you for the call, I think that we all are feeling it. Certain Democrats, certain elements of the party are in complete denial about the reality of what's going on. They think that government can just fund everything that they want forever. And Americans are losing their homes. The market is the numbers may be sky high, but ask the average person if your stock account did better, your personal stock account or your 401k did better under Trump or under Biden, and see what they have to say to you. Dominic Carter here with you. We are taking your telephone calls. Let's go to Jacqueline in Brooklyn. Jacqueline, what's on your mind?
Hi, Dominic. I was going to say something about this illegal invader, the Ecuadorian rapist, but I decided to change it a little bit. What Russell said about this illegal invasion program working, I think it is working, but it's working for the Democrats, as your last caller said. And they attack police? Fine, because the Democrats want to defund the police. So it's just a different form of defunding the police. But speaking of Russell and also the other transplanted South Carolina former New Yorker, they're both males in their 70s that never matured beyond age 7. They're incapable of critically thinking and or coming up with anything intelligent to say in response to the other's opinions and or political views. So they simply resort to attacking people personally, their ethnicity, their religion. And, John Catsimatidis had a recent commercial where he says, boring. And that guy from South Carolina is boring. Again, he made the anti-Semitic remark about having a bagel with a schmear. Boring, immature, and unintelligent.
I hear you. I hear you, Jacqueline. I thank you for the call. I'm speechless right now. I've got to go back. I got to think about this a little bit. But thank you for the call. Hey, wait, Jacqueline. But before I let you go, I'll ask you the same question I put to the last caller. And for these migrants and their countries, you even think about touching a police officer, poof, you're never to be found again. You just disappear. You just disappear, right? Never to be found again. And then they come here and you want to beat your chest, if you will, and attack NYPD officers while you're pimping the American people, while we're paying everything. First of all, how do you have the nerve? I almost said something else, Jacqueline. How do you have the nerve to do something? Everything's being paid for you, from the roof over your head to your food to the bottled water to the medical care. Oh, let's have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 babies. Let's go. Everything's being paid for. And you want to attack cops, and your kids, your unsupervised kids, are running the streets at 4 a.m. in the morning. How did we get to this point, Jacqueline?
Well, they're basically thumbing their nose in the face of every single American. It's costing us hundreds of billions of dollars. And I just hope and pray that President Trump will once again retain his rightful position in the Oval Office, and I hope he will begin to deport most of these, or at least a good percentage of the criminal illegal invaders.
Well, I'll put it to you this way. President Trump is the equivalent of Ice Baby. That's what I call ICE. And they know when Trump comes to town, the bull crap stops, or you'll be out of here in a New York minute. Jacqueline, thank you for the call. Let's go to Rich in White Plains, New York. Rich, what's on your mind?
Dominic, what we are seeing right now is the very beginnings of a civil war in these large democratically controlled cities. But it's not the kind of war that the Democrats want. This is going to be a war it's not between Republicans and Democrats. It's going to be between legal and illegal. And all these cities that thrive on law and disorder, it's going to come back. This problem's only going to get worse and worse because it's the Democrats' from their making of this. And hopefully this will be the one overriding thing that gets Trump over the top in November.
Fair enough, Rich. I hear you. Obviously, we don't want to see a civil war. I've heard that predicted before. Something has to give with the situation here. Thank you for the call. We are going to take a break. When we come back, Curtis Sliwa is standing by. He will join me. He has a lot he wants to deal with, and we will be right back.
This is Dominic Carter.
And now, it's time for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation Final Thoughts.
And folks, they are the real deal. Tunnel to Towers Foundation doing wonderful work, helping veterans, first responders. Just take a look for yourself. Joining me right now, Curtis Sliwa. So what's on your mind today, Mr. Sliwa?
Gee, if you're an illegal alien who wants to avoid getting snatched up by ICE and deported to your country of origin, you come to New York City. Now, this Ecuadorian who just got a righteous street justice beatdown in Corona, Queens, remember, his video went viral everywhere 7 hours before that. He's staying 2 blocks away in a hotel that you and I pay for his room and board, 3 squares a day, culturally appropriate food, run by the Department of Homeless Services of the city of New York. They knew who this guy was. That's their quote. They call them clients. How come they didn't call the police and say, hey, he actually stays right here. It's like room 19. No calls from that motel, hotel, Holiday Inn Express. That's number one. Number two, 2 years before, a federal judge says this guy's got to be deported. Send him back to Ecuador. But because we don't permit our court system, our corrections department, our police to work with ICE in the city or the state, it never gets followed through. He slips through the cracks, and then he's here to commit this crime. And then you look at the case that received even more attention of Laken Riley, killed by the Venezuelan who gave every signal in the world that he was a stone-cold thug. From the tattoos on his neck from Venezuela, hey, I'm a member of Tren de Agua. He's wearing Chicago Bulls paraphernalia, which is what that gang wears. He's here in New York City. He's arrested for child endangerment, which is a quasi term of sexually engaging an underage child. We cut him loose. Did anybody call ICE and say, hey, serve a retainer on this guy, send him over to downtown Vesey Street or Elizabeth, which is where ICE keeps these illegal aliens before they deport them? No. So what did he do? He went to Georgia, and you say, but wait, Georgia, that's a conservative red state. No, he went to Athens, a very liberal, progressive city that is a sanctuary city, University of Georgia. They give him a job. He has fake paperwork.
So these migrants, you're telling me, are not stupid. They know how to work the game.
No, look at the El Salvadorian who killed the mother with 5 children. He killed in El Salvador. What's the first state he went to? The sanctuary state of California. Then he goes to the sanctuary state of Maryland because he knows ICE can't touch him there. This is a federal agency. We pay tax dollars so they can keep us safe, so there won't be another 9/11. We should lock up every elected official in America that refuses to work with ICE. Make an example of them because they are making us vulnerable to not only these illegal aliens, but the people from Tajikistan, the number one ISIS terrorists in the world, who already live amongst us in Brooklyn. And, Dominic, they don't fit the profile. They're blonde hair, blue eyes. They had red hair and emerald eyes. And you would never profile them as terrorists. And they're going to hit us because we made it easy for them.
Now, were you out there last night at the location where all of this happened in terms of the store?
Oh, yeah. I was right outside the bodega. And let me tell you something. Those are thugs outside of that bodega, man. They were like fornicating me, mad dogging me. F you and the guardian angels. I
said, seriously?
Yeah. But I said, should I step to this guy, Jeffrey Flores? He's the hero of the moment. Pierce, he's got a long track record behind him of arrests. But you know something? I said, they did a good thing. It may be the only good thing they've ever done in their life. But I told them, if you keep disrupting this neighborhood by playing music till 4 o'clock in the morning and running your motorcycle up and down, I will be back like General MacArthur. But for today, you're our heroes.
What is this phenomenon of bikes and revving them up? What is that all about?
But
can you tell me?
That's power. That's like, I'm in charge. Nothing you can do about it. It's like the cherry bomb mufflers. You know, they go 3, 4 in the morning. It's letting you know I rule. Now, the NYPD used to be able to pull those cars aside and actually tow the cars away. But then Bill de Blasio said, well, let them have their fun. And now there's no enforcement whatsoever. And these folks destroy the quality of life into the wee hours of the morning. Because guess what, Dominic? You got to get up and work. They're on welfare.
Yep.
They've never worked a day in their life.
Yep.
And they're drinking at cerveza.
Yep.
Smoking blunts.
Yep.
And they're
don't forget making the babies.
That's right.
Don't forget that.
Well, remember now, especially if they're illegals, once they drop a baby, they're here forever. They ain't going nowhere. The anchor baby syndrome that only our country has, not Canada or any other country. Drop a baby here, and guess what? You can't touch me. Even though I'm not American, my kid is, and you can't send me back.
Drop it like it's hot. Anyway, Curtis Sliwa, thank you, my friend. It's remarkable. It is truly remarkable. I see one of the calls, Angela and Mineola. I wish I had time to get to it, Angela. I just don't. Maybe tomorrow. Folks, all it takes is $11 a month. Donate $11 a month to the Tunnel to Towers Foundation at T2T.org.
This is Greg Kelly for Priority Gold. What does it mean to be America's precious metals dealer? It means that you're in touch with the hearts and minds of those who love this country, value our freedom, and want to protect the future. Priority Gold is that precious metals dealer. They've helped thousands of Americans back their retirement with solid gold and silver. Call Priority Gold at 888-506-6439. Receive free shipping, free storage, a free investment guide, and one of the best purchase experiences in the industry. Call now or go to PriorityGold.com.